Hello, I'm Ricardo Costa, Energy Program Manager here at Startup Bootcamp Australia. Startup Bootcamp uses a bunch of different tools and methods to accelerate uh, tech startups, both in Australia and globally. And one of those tools is provided by our partner, Facet 5. Facet 5 is one of the most advanced measures of personality, and it helps us understand our personality in five different dimensions. And we use it not only to select teams for our programs, but to also coach our cohort teams on team development and team dynamics. And today I'm joined by Nick from Dox, one of our EnergyNext alumni startups. Nick, can you please introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about what Dox does?
Sure, Ricardo. Hi everyone. I'm Nick. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Dox. Basically, at Dox, our vision is to bring AI to every part of the battery value chain by creating an end-to-end battery intelligence system. And currently, our first product is accelerating battery testing using machine learning. So this is a quick summary.
Terrific. Thanks, Rick. And you did use Festa 5 when you were part of the EnergyNext program last year. You had a little bit of coaching and mentoring with my colleague Anna Barlow. So I just wonder if you can tell us a little bit about your experience using Festa 5 during the program.
Uh, to be really honest, when we first heard about Faceit 5, we didn't give it as much like importance at the beginning, let's say. But whenever you guys brought it up in one of our meetings, we were like, okay, why not? Why not take it and see what happens? So we went through the process, and to be honest, it was really enlightening, let's say. Um, the way that things are structured within the program and how you take us through the Faceit 5 was really great. Uh, the outcome that we got out of this as well, questionnaires and discussions, they were really beneficial as well to the startup.
And after you, alongside your team members, did the Festa 5 questionnaire, how was the debrief process with Startup Bootcamp, and what did you learn?
So basically, Rick, what happened is at the beginning we took the questionnaires individually, like our management team. Then we had debrief sessions individually with Anna, and then the entire team came together in order for us all to discuss like our different results and to compare our results with each other. Uh, and basically, during the debrief process, we were able to identify why we were not, if you want, where are the gaps within our team. For example, we have a gap in the control aspect where abiding to deadlines, making the team always pushing, consistently delivering, so on and so forth. But we had a really great, for example, our strength point were in brainstorming, creativity, so on and so forth. So by understanding like how the management team is, what are their strengths and weaknesses in terms of personalities, let's say, it allowed us like to identify the gaps so that we can hire for them, and also identify our strength. That way, we can double down on them and use them.
Got it. Both now, both individually and as a group, was there anything surprising that you learned, maybe about your personality or your team dynamics as a group?
Um, Maybe for me personally, there wasn't, to be honest, anything surprising. It's fun if you want to go through that process. And Anna asks you if you want, whenever you create the task, about your speculation, which personality type are you within the questionnaire, and you have the chance to say your assumption beforehand. I got it right. Almost everyone in the team got their answers right. But whenever we put like our results on top of each other, this is where the surprise was. There was one member within the management team, like we weren't able to communicate efficiently together. There were some there wasn't like consistency in the delivery, but from the other side, the creativity was really high. And then with the questionnaire, we were able to identify that the discipline of that person is really low. So this is where like we need to change the we had to change the management style with that particular person, and adjust our expectations accordingly. And from there, it was like flawless.
Hmm. That's great. And aside from that individual example, was there anything else that changed after the things that you learned from the debrief process?
To be honest, our hiring strategy. So now we are doubling down to get on board people that can provide us the control and accountability that we need. Uh, and this is what we're doing, like at this stage, basically.
That's great. And how did exploring the team's profiles change your perspective on what you needed to do as a CEO of the company?
Um, so, uh, as a CEO, usually you have to do everything. You have to do to be the jack of all trades. Um, But with this, and at the end of the day, you need to hire, you need to form a team, so on and so forth. Today, without the tools that exist, or actually uh, 5 years ago or 10 years ago, before having such tools, you had to go through a lengthy interview process, uh, identify if that person that you're hiring will have the skills needed for the job, and after that, you will try to speculate what would be the questions to ask in order to check if that person will have you will have like similar chemistries, um, they will fit within the culture, so on and so forth. But even with that, there is a probability that that person will not fit the dynamics of the team. And as a CEO, again, one of the main jobs is to bring in people together, really smart people, and make them work with each other. And sometimes this can be a really hard thing to do, managing people, holding them accountable, um, making sure that there is a fun culture in place, because no one wants to work in a dull startup. Um, so Facet 5 was like a layer between, and that we added to our, we will add hopefully more and more into our hiring process, which will enable us like to form the team in a more intelligent way. That way we can definitely in the long run save resources. Because if you hire someone and after 5 months or 6 months you discover that they're not um, a fit to your team, that would be like a waste for both sides. So basically, Basic 5 helped with that.
That's awesome. And I'm aware as well that you talked about hiring. I'm aware that the Docs team grew quite a bit after the program, the EnergyNext program ended. And I wonder if you've seen any results from the new approach to hiring, and and how is the team doing nowadays?
Um, so by being focused on what we want, definitely like it showed a positive impact on our hiring. Once you understand where are your weak points, you will be able to fill them. I know that it sounds like magic, but it's not. It's based on science. Like you take multiple, you answer multiple questions. We understand, like they understand your personality from different perspectives, and then while you try to connect all the dots together, we identify the gap. We brought in someone that can fill that gap, and from there you keep going. So I guess the best benefit of this is about filling the gaps in a more intelligent way and based on science and not just based on gut feelings.
Terrific. And given your whole experience with the program and with Facet 5, do you have any tips that you learned for other startups that might be struggling with hiring right now?
Whenever you want to hire, the first thing starts by really understanding the skills, exactly what are the skills needed for that particular position, and maybe 3 to 5 goals that they need to achieve within the next couple of months. This will be really crucial. Now, regarding the skills, especially if you are in tech, I highly suggest that you look into job descriptions available online and to limit the set of skills needed, because one programmer doesn't know the entire language set available in the market. The second thing, which was really beneficial to us, is starting first by visualizing your current organizational chart and identifying the gaps and giving it to multiple mentors and sharing it with multiple people from like your network advisors, so on and so forth. So, for example, in our case, when we were part of SBC, we shared our organizational chart with Anna and with multiple people. And every time a person told us about their views, for example, don't focus on more marketing for now. You need to double down on product, or you don't need an HR person at this stage. You can tackle it on your own. So such things will help you be more efficient and take much better decisions throughout like the critical phases of your startups. And the third thing is definitely like use tools like Faceit 5, because they will help you hire more efficiently. They will help you identify the gaps within your team and then hire for those gaps specifically.
Yeah, that's great advice for sure. And I wonder, we touched on how much the team grew after the program, but I wonder if you can give us more of a general update of where Docs is and the exciting things that you have coming up.
Yeah, sure. So when we joined Startup Bootcamp, we were around 8 people working remotely part-time. And now we're a team of 12 with more than 5 consultants working globally on the startup. We have more than 10 leads in our pipeline across Australia, United States, and the GCC. We already finalized our product, hosted online, and now we're in the process of signing our first few customers. So, really exciting times coming ahead. And definitely, we're currently raising our seed round of investment. So, if anyone is interested, please feel free to reach out.
That's awesome. All right. Thank you very much, Nick. And that's it for today.